law enforcement act with someone like that?
What do you mean law enforcement act?
Right, but you're trying to school me on my job.
As these men were filming in public at a place of business, they were told to exit the building. After exiting, however, they notice a lady cop flying towards them with her sirens on. Upon making contact, however, the men tries to educate the officer on the situation when she abruptly cuts him off and heads inside the building with another man. She says the men can't dictate how she responds to the scene and gets very aggressive. What's your take on this? A lady cop who seems aggressive and disrespectful when responding to civilians she's sworn to protect. Let's proceed further to watch things unravel.
Can I help you with something?
Yes, we came over here in peace, quietly. We're working on a story for news purposes. We clearly explained this to this gentleman over here. The employees are not happy about us filming. They're encouraging the citizens to say that they don't want to be filmed. No citizen has said, please don't film me or anything like that. Employees are very triggered about our camera, and he's very triggered about the fact that we're not sharing much information about what we're doing. But in fact, I did tell him pretty much what I'm doing. We're working on a news story.
Hang on 1 second for me. Did you
we have the right.
Yes. Okay, hang on 1 second for me. I'll be right back.
What did she say?
I said, hang on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Asked if someone asked us to step out the building.
And we are out the building. So can I speak to your supervisor? Because
Why do you need a supervisor?
honestly, ma'am, they called for some camera guys, and we just literally saw you with your siren speeding through the whole town.
Right, but you don't get to dictate how I respond to.
Well, I mean, you should know that. You should have just told them that it's. What are they doing? You should investigate. You see, this is not a pub. This is a public place. We are not in a private property.
Right,
as long as we don't interfere.
Any type of law enforcement act with someone like that.
What do you mean law enforcement act?
Right, but you're trying to school me on my job, and I responded to a call for service where you're not even identifying yourself for them.
Well, I mean, don't we have the Fourth Amendment? I haven't broken the law. That's what I'm saying. We're here working. These videos are being taxed.
Okay,
so we have the right to be here.
They asked you to identify yourself and you didn't.
That's because we rather choose not to, man. We don't have to discuss our day. We nicely told them we're working.
Film over other people's
But yes, we can.
shoulders.
We're not.
They have credentials.
We're not here.
Don't fucking talk over.
Excuse me.
You need to get your supervisor here now.
Excuse me.
I'm trying to have a conversation.
You're
with you,
escalating.
and you
You're
are not even
escalating.
having a regular
You're escalating.
conversation. You're standing here and speaking
This
over
lady
me.
is. I don't understand what's going on.
Come here and tell me what's going on.
Sure. So we're working on a news story, right, sir? We're more than nice people.
You're working on a new what?
We're working on a news story. We have millions of people that tune into our platform, okay? We may not look like the average camera person, I guess, but we walked in there. We have the right to work in there. We're not trying to interfere with the business whatsoever. So we're just working on a video, brother. And the lady in there, they all went wild because they didn't want to be filmed.
So this is the planning department. What do you guys?
We go to the planning department all over the nation. This is not
for what?
For news purposes. We have millions of people that watch our videos, sir.
What's your news story you're covering here?
We're trying to see how respectful they are in covering the service. That's it. And then
What
obviously,
service do you need from them?
well, we usually go and ask for public records and stuff. We're waiting our turn.
Okay, what public records can I help you get today?
Well, I want to know about filming in the lobby, first of all, since that's a problem. We have the right. There's no policy that says that we can't film in the lobby. This lady just cursed me out for no reason.
I apologize for that. I'll talk to her about that. I'm her supervisor. He's her supervisor. So we'll talk about that.
So you do agree?
What can I help you get from the planning department today?
Well, can you get us?
This is wild. Why are officers stopping recordings and grabbing people's personal items? They technically assault and steal right on camera there, just protected by certain laws because they're a peace officer. Officer McCartney asks the auditor to have a conversation after trying to knock down his camera. This doesn't seem like the type of person you want having your home address or even knowing what your car looks like. Watch carefully as the next officer tries to separate Officer McCartney's actions from his own as if they aren't on the same team. Good cop, bad cop tactic 101.
How's it going? Can I talk to you for a second?
What's going on? Why are you taking my phone?
Relax.
Why are you taking my phone? I'm recording.
I understand that. I need to talk to you.
You don't need to take my stuff like that.
What's your name? You have ID on you, sir? Sir.
Hey, partner. We don't have a problem with you recording us.
It seems like he does.
No,
I'm trying to talk to you.
Because As you know, across this country,
In today's modern society, citizens' rights to record and audio in public spaces are protected by the U.S. Constitution, particularly when documenting police activities to ensure transparency in cases. However, not all police officers accept this. In this instance, the police officers attempted to grab the citizen's phone and made unreasonable requests for identification. As long as the citizen maintains a reasonable distance and does not interfere with police work, recording is fully protected under the First Amendment's rights to free speech and press. Furthermore, under the Fourth Amendment, citizens are not required to present ID for police checks.
And Officer Chris Lewis almost made me lose my truck.
okay,
Is there any way we can talk to you?
and give me your name so I know who I'm talking to, and that way
Do you understand the Fourth Amendment?
I do understand, so I can look into what you just talked about with Officer Lewis.
Just look up Chris Lewis. You'll find, he can tell you all about it.
You know what?
He knows what he did.
Sir? Sir, you gonna have a conversation or no?
Let me ask you this question.
I don't answer questions.
Okay,
What evidence do you have that I'm under, that I have probation?
I don't know. By asking that question, if you are now obligated to inform me of that. Asking you. And simply asking you means you legally need to state whether you are or not. That is a condition of your...
I am, but I am not.
Thank you. Then you answered the questions. That's all I was asking for.
Well, your officer made it like that.
My officer isn't me. My officer isn't
Chris
him.
Lewis, you guys are a part of a team.
We're all...
One of your officers,
We're all members of...
and I'm in my situation. How do you think I feel about that?
Okay, so how do we take steps to fix that? So how do we take steps to help you with that? If you're in a situation where things are bad, how do we take steps?
Chris Lewis showed me you guys are animal control. Come out and deal with the dog, and he didn't. As a public servant, he didn't help me. He incriminated me. He told me that I was trying to have animal control come out and deal with the dog for the second time. He told me that the dog couldn't be off.
Okay.
But there was no reason for him to push that upon me and say that I had to identify myself. He must not understand the Constitution or have respect. It was not my dog. I explained that to him, and he still proceeded to want me to ID.
Okay.
When I guess he doesn't understand the Fourth Amendment. I'm not in the roadway. I'm right in the driveway.
That's the driveway. Here, we'll give you room over here.
What are some of the top 5 subjects police are sued for? 1. Excessive force. 2. Wrongful arrest or false imprisonment. 3. Violation of civil rights. 4. Failure to provide medical care. 5. Negligence or reckless driving. This lady cop, 516, sides with the caller upon arrival that what the man is doing is kind of suspicious, based on no legal grounds. She states, before we start acting stupid, let's think about this. Officer 516 says, this will raise to obstruction of justice if he chooses not to identify himself after she already asked him 4 times. She threatens the man as she says she's going to start to get aggravated, and after that, she goes hands-on for her safety.
What are you doing over here?
Videotaping.
What are you videotaping?
Facility.
Why are you videotaping the facility?
It's my own purposes.
So, what's going on?
I don't answer questions.
Do you have any ID on your bud?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, we got a call for a suspicious person, okay? This is kind of suspicious behavior.
Okay, what crime do you suspect me of committing?
So, alright, before we act stupid, okay? Let's just talk about when you're standing in front of a facility that's a government building. What's going to happen is you're going to identify yourself. If you choose not to identify yourself, because now I've asked you about 4 times already,
Not gonna happen.
then this is going to rise to the level of obstruction of justice because I have to figure out
What
what's going
crime?
on here.
What crime do you
You
suspect
won't tell
me?
me what you're doing here.
I already
Your
told you,
behavior
ma'am.
is highly suspicious.
I already told you,
There's
ma'am.
No, you're not explaining
Can I speak to your
anything.
supervisor?
And if you simply identify yourself
Well, ma'am,
and explain what's going on here, then we don't have an issue.
I already
but I'm
told
gonna
you.
start to get aggravated
Well-
if you take up more of my time today. Do you understand?
well, ma'am,
Okay?
you're taking time for yourself. I'm a public citizen. I'm on a public sidewalk, recording a public building. Unless you're suspecting me of committing any crimes, then I suggest for you to treat me. Ma'am, don't put your hands on me. Ma'am, don't put your hands on me.
There. You down for my safety.
Why are you, ma'am? Why are you? Am I being detained?
Put that down.
And this lady right here, which I don't know her name yet, 516 will be hearing from me. And I'm sure you guys have a captain
right
for
now.
the internal affairs that's gonna want to have a talk about this. I promise you. I promise you. You have illegally detained me. You put my hand in that burning hood. You're gonna hear from me.
I think you like this attention right now.
No, you guys are wasting our money. You guys work for the
You're
people.
wasting my time.
No. Well, then leave. You're free to go. You're dismissed. Because what? We pay for your salary, and you need to stand away from me because
I
you're.
pay my salary. All right?
You pay your salary. As
What's
far as
going
I
on
know,
here is that
as far as
you
I
can-
know,
you'd be
we
free to
pay
leave.
for your salary.